Hi, this is Zachary Ball with Omnis Technologies, continuing our series on the NIST 800-171 audits. Today we're going to be covering Level 1. So Level 1, CMMC Level 1 is 17 controls over 6 categories. So then the other thing to remember about when we continue with the levels is every level builds off the previous one. So Level 2 builds off Level 1, Level 3 will build off Level 1 and 2. And then the other thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be posting an Excel document with what those categories are in the actual controls. And then in the comment section of each cell, there'll be what the actual official control says. So getting right into it, our first category is access control. Access control has 4 controls. This is basically making sure you know what person has access to the CUI. We covered CUI in our last video. It's any important information that is not necessarily classified. So making sure you have user accounts set up and proper file permissions to make sure you know who is accessing what or who can't access certain things. Level 2 is identification and authentication. Making sure you know what kind of passwords and things like this you have to have set up. Making sure that there's no password sharing going on, making sure you know who's accessing that file at that time. Category 3, media protection. This one is pretty self-explanatory. I wish they were all this easy. This basically means sanitize and destroy anything before disposal. So if you have a desktop computer that had CUI on it, make sure to destroy the hard drive and then recycle it accordingly. Category number 4, physical protection. There are 4 controls under this. This is a good one. This is probably one you may not necessarily have in place, but this requires like visitors logs to be implemented so you know who's coming and who's going. This is basically broken down into limiting access to outside people and making sure they don't have access to like a server room, a wiring closet, anything like that. Actually, one of the controls has you escorting the outside person to the place they need to go. So that's pretty self-explanatory as well. Category number 5 has 2 controls, system and communication protection. So this means basically the first control is maintain a production network and a guest network. The production network is where the CUI is contained. A guest network is obviously if you have a vendor come in, but they have to get internet access, you maintain those 2 networks and they do not cross. Second control of this is basically controlling what information comes in, what information goes out. Now the easiest way to obviously control that is a firewall solution or maybe some other type of device, but you need to know what is coming in and what is going out. So limiting where your employees can't go, where they can go, limiting intrusions, spam, all that kind of good stuff is basically covered by a firewall solution. Category 6, system information and integrity. In those controls, there's a lot of talk about malicious code. Well, malicious code could be Trojans, spyware, could be a lot of things. Easiest way to address this is having virus software implemented and doing regular scans on a schedule. Now, the other way to address this is Windows updates, or maybe you're using a Mac. Make sure you update frequently and on a regular schedule. That will take care of any loopholes that they have found, any openings in software that they've possibly addressed. Make sure you're updating accordingly and make sure you're scanning accordingly. But those are the 6 categories. If you have any questions on deciphering any of this language, please contact us at Omnis Technologies, tech support at omnistech.com.